Here we are in the middle of July, and that means we're just about a month away from the high school football season. Welcome on in to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins. And football, I think we say it just about every week at this point. It's year round, but that's especially true in recruiting, Claudia. So I know you and Cody are recruiting gurus. There's plenty coming up from y'all today, right?
Recruiting never ends, and that's why you hear me plug Recruiting Roundup pretty much every time we're on Bleacher Talk. So today, Recruiting Roundup meets Bleacher Talk. You'll be seeing two segments that Cody and I put together just for you guys. We talk about some of the biggest commitments from last month, as well as how the University of New Mexico is just absolutely going after the guys in our state, which we love to see. So more of that coming up on Bleacher Talk.
That's always fun. Looking forward to that. Cody Cameron, Claudia Collins, great to get you all together. But first, Claudia, we got to catch up with Goodyear High School. It's a brand new high school this year. Their new head coach, Pat Parnell. Here's more with him. Well, we're here now with Pat Parnell, the first head coach for Goodyear High School, opening up football season in just a little bit. We're inching closer and closer, but Pat, thanks for joining us. And what's it like gearing up for this first season here at a brand new high school?
Yeah, thanks, Jordan, Claudia. Thanks for having me on and caring about Goodyear High School and Goodyear football. It's exciting. Today's actually first day that staff gets a chance to come and move on campus. Some of the leadership team was on campus last week, getting things going, and tours every day, seeing all the progress, and so it's exciting, and there's a lot of really fun things happening here.
Coach, I actually want to step back a little bit and get to know your background a little bit and how you came into this position and why you felt like, hey, taking on a new program, that's the move for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that I got two older brothers. We all played football. We've talked about for a long time. So yeah, how it happened. I was coaching college football. I was coaching high school football up in Washington, and then took two different jobs coaching college football, one in Florida, one in California. And I got three kids and a wife, and we're moving around the country and kind of doing that deal. And when we were done with Davis out in California, we just kind of said, hey, like we could keep riding this college football train and going. And I love football, but I also love my kids and I love my family. And so what's a spot that values athletics, that has great weather and has a great opportunity for coaching and teaching and impacting kids. And so we landed on Arizona. Actually came here without a job. We moved, bought a house in the West Valley without a job, and said, you know what? It's going to work itself out. If we build the house and we find the spot to live that's good for our family, the rest will sort itself out. And that's kind of how, honestly, like most of the people that are at Goodyear, it just Goodyear kind of comes to them instead of them coming to Goodyear. And that's kind of how I feel this happened. And so the fact that this opportunity is in front of me, I'm really excited about it.
I think that's really cool as someone that's kind of just ended up all over the valley. I've been in the East Valley and Gilbert. I've lived in Goodyear, literally across the street as they were building your campus there, now in downtown and all over. And I will say Goodyear is a great place, and it's cool that you ended up there. Looking at the facilities that they've built, what's your favorite part so far? Seeing everything kind of get finalized. I've seen the field; it looks pretty. The weight room looks great. What are some of your favorite things?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, to point to the weight room, you go on most campuses at high school and it's like, man, how can we maximize the space that we have? Can we put a rack here? Can we maybe adjust this storage closet to another? And that's kind of the conversations at most high schools. And so to have 20 racks in a weight room, a turf, spot right outside a garage door that opens up, really just like that is a pretty sacred spot. I've always believed when you look at a football program, there's really kind of two spots. If you want to kind of figure out, hey, what's the culture? You look at how they are in the weight room and how they play special teams. And we got one of those facilities. Now it's kind of our job to make sure we build a culture that's the one we want in that weight room. So I love the weight room.
From what I've seen, the visuals are awesome. The facilities look fantastic, but all of that is nothing without a staff. So, how did you build your staff and how do you plan to kind of really bond this team that's going to be brand new?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's so much about the people. When it all said and done, you can have a cool locker room and you can have cool signage. We got cool cornhole boards behind me. Like, you got all these cool things, and like, but if the people aren't connected and aren't rowing the same direction, then you're really fighting a bunch of battles that make it difficult. So, yeah, as far as the staff goes, it was a wide range. I mean, some people connected with me through social media, through internet, through phone, just like, I'm interested. I live in the area. Some guys we've had prior connections with. Coach Chaco, our offensive coordinator, he's coming over from Millennium High School. He coached with Jason Lynn, our principal, at Desert Edge. And so him, Colin Poe, they both were at Desert Edge. And so when I, met with Jason, we started talking about, hey, who are we going to get going? Those are guys. Dan Poffenbarger, he was over at Canyon View with me. And then, honestly, like, there's a wide range of people and it's kind of been fun because some guys are like, hey, like our D-line coach, Lionel Wiggins, he's never coached before, but he's like kind of unsure, like, can I coach? I'm like, dude, yes, you can, man. Can you build relationships with kids? All right, let's go. The X's and O's. Can you build relationships? Do you know how to do that? And so we got a bunch of different guys like that just said, hey, I want to jump on, and I really am buying into the vision of where you're going. And so that's how we built it. We got a pretty awesome staff too.
Speaking on building, so it's about the staff, it's about getting the right kids to come out and play football. It's about, the facilities, all of that. It's what you're building towards. So we've been lucky, me and Claudia, the last few years to see the back end of the schools that were newer, get to state championship games. We saw Micah Mountain and Tucson against ACP last year, both newer programs that got there so quickly. What do you think the formula is for you to kind of get to that level quickly? Are you worried about that? Are you more focused on just building these freshmen right now? Like, what is the larger plan here?
Yeah, I think it's really easy. Doesn't matter whether you're talking sports or you're talking, hey, you just got your first job at a finance firm. Some people kind of look 10 years in advance, and you have to have some element of that. But I really think it comes down to the behaviors. If you look at anything, hey, what are the behaviors of a winner? And then you start to focus on those, and then those behaviors become habits, and then your habits are really well done. And then how do you take those habits and then continue to grow on those and refine those? And so, I mean, that's the focus. And so we're trying to teach these kids how to be Goodyear guys and how to just do behaviors that are really good and that are going to set them up for success in the class, set them up for success in their jobs when they get them, set them up for success. And if you kind of take the behaviors and you take the teaching of that, the foundation of it is relationships. And so I really say, hey, if we can build firm relationships with our kids, then we can teach really well. And if we know what we're teaching really well, then I think the scoreboard will figure itself out.
Well, Coach, I'm going to close on this. As much as I would love to get to know you even more, which I know we'll get the chance to do all season long, what is the motto going into the season? What's the message you're telling these guys?
Yeah, no doubt. There's really two things. We have a star on our logo, and I told our guys, hey, we got to set the anchor. We got to put the star on the map, and that might be a small star, or that might be a big, huge star. But we get to decide what kind of star gets put on the map. So it's definitely a focus of, as a team, hey, let's put the star on the map. And then the second one is just be Goodyear guys, and that's kind of represented with our mascot, the Maverick. Of like, that's a good reminder when we see that mascot is just be a Goodyear guy. And again, that's us teaching all those behaviors, and hopefully that transcends the football field and it carries into their life of hey, let's just be a bunch of Goodyear guys that put the star on the map, and let's ride as one.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time, and we're looking forward to getting out there and seeing your guys this year. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, guys, for having me on. Appreciate your interest in Goodyear football. Go Mavs.
I can bank when I want, where I want.
I can show my school spirit with every purchase.
I get rewarded for all I do with them, like a rate discount on my first auto loan.
And they partner with the school I always root for.
Hey guys.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, all right, ready, let's go. I'm so excited.
There's going to be a lot more games that tickets get to that price. So if you want to be a part of them, you better buy season tickets. You better do it right now. You better sell it out. because we're going to have a lot more games where this state wants to show up to. Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? That's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
This is a Santan Ford announcement.
Santan Ford is taking delivery of over 500 new cars and trucks. All models are priced for immediate sale to make room for more arrivals. Don't wait. Head to Tim Hogan's Santan Ford in Gilbert.
We are Santan Ford.
To the top, till I get to the top. I keep on rocking till I get to the top. Yeah, I keep on rocking till I get to the top. Let's go. I keep on rocking till I get to the top. Can't stop, won't stop, and I never will. I keep on rocking till I get to the top. I keep on rocking till I get to the top. That's right. I keep on rocking till I get to the top. Can't stop, won't stop, and I never will.
Nothing brings people and families together faster than sharing food. Great friends, memories, and good times. For over 2 generations, Valle Luna has served you the food that brought you together, and we've been proud to do so. We're fortunate to have been a part of so many stories, gatherings, and traditions that continue on today and will tomorrow. Start a tradition of your own. Come taste authentic Sonoran-style food with your family and friends here with us at Valle Luna.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program that can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Ortho Arizona Recruiting Roundup. I'm Claudia Collins alongside Cody Cameron, and today we just want to wrap up a couple of the biggest commitments that we saw this past June, so just a few weeks ago. So let's wrap up rapid fire a few of them, starting over at Cactus Shadows with the quarterback Donovan Dixon, who committed to NAU, which I promise it doesn't take too much convincing from Cody, especially when it comes to Donovan Dixon, to talk about these NAU commitments. But there's an interesting kind of story there about how this really does make sense for him. But I just want to throw in a few tidbits on him as a person, because at Sports 360 AZ, we've made a little bit more of an effort to get to know him as a quarterback. And I think one of the things that I've seen and really admire is just his development over the last few years and his focus on his mental game and leadership and just becoming a super confident player, which, let's be real, that's exactly what these college programs are looking for. He obviously can produce on the field, but as a person, he's really grown. But Cody, you're all about also what's happening on the field. So why is he a great fit for NAU?
Here's what makes Donovan special, right? He is so electrifying at the quarterback position. He can make any throw. He is one of the fastest players in the state of Arizona. The up-tempo offense that he runs at Cactus Shadows, perfect translation into that NAU offense. So he's really, really smart. He's a great competitor. He's coachable. The best thing about him, Claudia, is when you talk to opposing coaches, okay, non-Cactus Shadows coaches, all they say two things. They go, man, that kid is really respectful. He does things the right way. And they personally, when there's like a big 7-on-7 event, right? They personally try to find the field that Cactus Shadows is playing on because they want to watch him play. That is a really special player. And the NEU side, okay, you strengthen your in-state recruiting bond. You get your quarterback in the recruiting class, and he already becomes one of your best recruiters. When you land a kid like this, skilled players and offensive linemen, and even some of those defensive skill players in the secondary and linebackers, they are friends with Donovan, and they want to play college ball with Donovan. It is a home run all around, and Donovan Dixon is a really special football player.
Let's move over to Mountain Point. Offensive lineman Aaron Thomas committed to The Ohio State University. He had over 30 offers, so it's not like this was such a home run, as you want to call it. Not an easy decision, right? When you've got 30 offers you're working with. But it's, I went out to spring football, got to talk with the new coach over there. He's still getting to know Aaron Thomas, but the things that became obvious early on was also that leadership and just wanting to develop that as well. And he's going to be an early graduate, which means he's just planning on getting his foot right in the door. But, he said he's working on his footwork over the summer and things like that. So I'm excited to see him play in his senior season.
Yeah, what a special moment for him, too, because like you said, he had a ton of options. And how about the reigning national champions, the Ohio State University? They're nabbing 2 offensive linemen from the state of Arizona, him and Tucker Smith out of O'Connor. Aaron Thomas, his development from, when he first started playing football in his high school career at Mountain Point to now, the athleticism, the bend, the violent strike off the snap. His length is there, his weight is there, but just kind of tightening up all the other things and perfecting his craft up front for Mountain Point. He has truly become one of the top offensive linemen in the entire West Coast and the Southwest region. And that's all credit to his work ethic, his coaching. He's got great role models. He's a heck of a kid. He's a heck of a football player. Really, really happy for Aaron. All right, Claudia, we're going to stay on the offensive line too. One of my favorite players in the entire 2026 class, that's Colin Campbell out of Williamsfield. So he committed to Michigan State. And when you look at Colin's game, he's a road grader, but he's super athletic. Williamsfield's offense, they have him moving outside a lot, showing that athleticism, a lot of backside pull block, and a lot of working to the second level. Colin's one of the best at it. He really, really is. He's so athletic. And when he gets to the second level, he pummels outside backers trying to force in secondary players. So that style of tenacity and ferociousness is a great fit for Michigan State. And I'm so happy for him. He is a really fun player to watch. And anybody watching this, you should go watch Williamsfield's offensive line and their team this year. Colin Campbell's the ankle to that.
These are 3 guys we're definitely going to be watching in their senior year. But thank you for joining me on the Recruiting Roundup. We'll see you next time.
I can bank when I want, where I want.
There are no hidden fees. I checked the fine print.
They give back to the community I'm working to conserve.
And they partner with the school I always root for.
Hey guys.
All right, ready, let's go. So excited.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Now bust a move, bust a move, bust a move.
Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York-style pizza. Oh, man, this looks so good. Pizza dough is made fresh daily. Wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York-style Pizzeria.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho, Arizona.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I needed one of the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Buy your season tickets. Let's make that every single week of next year. Because why would you not want to be in that environment? That's one of the most fun places to be in college football. Why would you not want to do that every Saturday?
What's up, everyone? Welcome into the Ortho Arizona Recruiting Roundup. I'm Claudia Collins alongside Cody Cameron, and we say it often this time of year, but things are heating up in the Valley, not just temperature-wise, but we're talking commitments, recruiting, all of that. Summertime, it is just non-stop, and it has been absolutely non-stop for the University of New Mexico. And they have added 6 Arizona high school football players. From Basha, linebacker Eli Cronin and defensive back Xavier Rivera Rogers. From Queen Creek, safety Jerron Lyles and offensive lineman Derek Warden. From ALA Queen Creek, offensive lineman Braden Chick. And from Centennial, offensive lineman Ty Gates. Okay, 6 players we're talking about having made commitments. What is this connection, this relationship? I know they're next door neighbors, but how did this really come to be?
Yeah, Claudia, we talked about this on air, if we've ever seen this before at such a prestigious school. And I don't think I have in the 7, 8 years that I've been down in the Valley. Yeah, we've had a couple schools come in and pick off 1 or 2 or maybe 3 kids in a recruiting cycle. We've seen it at the D2 and D3 level. But when you look at University of New Mexico and you look at the new staff that came in from the University of Idaho this past December, head coach Jason Eck coming in and pretty much corralling his entire staff from Idaho in here. They knew Arizona. Like, we look at the Basha connection there. Day Buchanan, who is one of the top running backs in the state a couple of years ago, helped the Bears to a state championship title. So they knew Arizona talent. And you saw that staff frequently during the spring recruiting period. They also coming in and watching games in person. So they knew the state, but to get 6, I mean, I think that is such an astronomical number. One of their top recruiters on staff is Cody Booth, and he's their offensive line coach. And him coming in, getting like a Derek Warden. And Claudia, this kid is a monster. He had official visit set for the University of Colorado, an incredible school out there in the Big 12. And he loved his visit so much when he was out there with teammate Jerron Lyles and some of the other Basha players. They all took official visits there, and they said, hey, we love the staff, we love the hospitality, really new and advanced weight room and facilities, but it was the staff and the family environment that they absolutely love. This is a huge, monstrous get for the University of New Mexico, because those 6 players you just listed, they are total studs in the state of Arizona.
Absolutely. And you touched on some of the reasons why they might have thought this is the right fit for me. But one thing I want to get into is kind of just with all of this realignment over the last few years and the transfer portal, finding the right fit has gotten in some ways a little more complicated. But for me, when I look at New Mexico, it kind of just makes sense the way I see it, at least. Maybe an earlier opportunity to play earlier in your career. I mean, are these factors that you think really do come into play when you see, yeah, you're talking about, oh, we could have gone to University of Colorado, but hey, maybe this is a better fit to get on the field ASAP.
100%. And I think the way that we're recruiting too, it hasn't really changed when you look at a staff perspective. Because when you look at these 6, it's guys that are impact players immediately, exactly like you said. Hey, it's a win-win for both parties here, right? Like, you get the studs and those players get to play. Eli Cronin, He's one of the best tacklers in the state of Arizona. Xavier Rivera-Rogers, he's one of the best defensive backs when he's looking at his eyes. He can go into deep third coverage or sit down in a flat and really read a quarterback. Jerome Lyles, Claudia, is about 6'2", 6'3", 190, 195 pounds. Extremely versatile. I already mentioned Derek. And then you go to Braden Chick, nasty, ferocious lineman. Ty Gates, length, physicality. So when you look at how that school wants to recruit, we want nasty football players that are versatile with speed. And you list all 6 of these players, they have those attributes. They have a competitive edge. I think they're going to go on that campus and compete day one.
I also think, you get half a dozen guys from one state on your roster. It's just going to make it easier and easier for future recruits to think, hey, this is a program I should really be thinking about. And we know how it goes. These guys get in the ears of, the guys that they were playing with, and their juniors are coming up. And I just think it really could be just the beginning for New Mexico, despite the fact that really they've been recruiting in our state pretty well over the last several years since I've been in this position. But that's 6 players that we're going to be watching out for in the upcoming seasons. Hey, if you liked what you saw, you could always head to our website, sports360az.com, for Bleacher Talk and the Recruiting Roundup. If you didn't like the Recruiting Roundup, I don't want to hear about it. You definitely liked it. There's no way you didn't, especially Cody brings so much knowledge. So we always have recruiting news on our website.
Always looking forward to that. You can catch that, Bleacher Talk, and everything else to get ready for high school football season. Media days around the corner. Seems like every school, every district has them. So we'll do our best to get out to as many as possible. But for now, that'll do it for us right here on Bleacher Talk. Tune in next week.
I can bank when I want, where I want.
I can show my school spirit with every purchase.
I get rewarded for all I do with them, like a rate discount on my first auto loan.
And they partner with the school I always root for.
Hey guys. Hey, how's it going? All right, ready, let's go. So excited.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Nothing brings people and families together faster than sharing food. Great friends, memories, and good times. For over 2 generations, Valle Luna has served you the food that brought you together, and we've been proud to do so. We're fortunate to have been a part of so many stories, gatherings, and traditions that continue on today and will tomorrow. Start a tradition of your own. Come taste authentic Sonoran-style food with your family and friends here with us at Valle Luna.
Till I get to the top, can't stop, won't stop, and I never